Hi. So, happy Vlogust. So, if you missed my first Vlogust video, no, that's not what I meant to say. If you missed the video that I just put out, Vlogust 2, you may have seen and that I said I wasn't feeling well. And through that video, you may notice that my face gets more and more flushed as the video progresses. And then eventually I just got to the point where I couldn't even record anymore. I just felt bad. So I was like, that's all I got. And I ended the video. So I apologize. But that is because I went inside and I took my temperature and I was 102.5. I mean, I felt achy, but in about 2 hours, I was in full on chills and body aches. And my husband went and picked up some of the C-tests. Out of 4 that I took, 3 were positive. So I am self-quarantining in my shed. And I have been since Saturday around 12. So the only time I'm going inside is to go pee, basically, and to sleep. I'm sleeping on an air mattress in the storage room. It's been interesting. I feel much better today. Today is actually, what day is this? This is Monday. The brain fog is ridiculous. My fever is down to 100, 101, which is good. I'm hoping that that completely goes away tonight because I'm just tired of it. I don't like being this isolated, and I have been filling my body with vitamins. But that's not here or there. I wanted to record because I talked about in my last Vlogmas this hat and how I couldn't comprehend the pattern. And hi, so this is actually Wednesday me, but I wanted to add this little excerpt in here in case someone did start this video and thought maybe the book was wrong. It winds up the book is not wrong, just my inability to comprehend why on the sea was wrong. But I don't want to spoil that for you in case you want to watch the footage, because I think this is real life as a knitter and crocheter, and you may find some familiarity with it. So continue on. And I realize as my fever has come down, it wasn't just me having issues with the pattern. It's the pattern that is written wrong. So last night in my storage room moment, kind of a Harry Potter, like under the, not really under the stairs, but you know, in the cupboard moment, I had my son go get some graph paper and throw it in at me with a pencil. And he did. He enjoyed, I think, throwing paper at me with a pencil because they're not allowed to come around me. And I charted out this rib on this pattern. Let me show you. Here's the rib that I'm making. See? And you can look and see that this is a knit. These are definitely reverse stockinette. A knit, a seed stitch, a knit, reverse stockinette, and so forth. That's the pattern repeat, okay? And they have you cast on 98 stitches. When I chart what they have given me, this is what it is. That is not that. This reads seed stitch, seed stitch, seed stitch, seed stitch, knit, reverse stockinette, reverse stockinette. Yeah, like it's not right. So this is the way it should be. And the repeat only takes like 8 stitches. I have it upside down. Yeah, the repeat only takes 8 stitches. So this repeat, they have you doing a stitch at the beginning of the row, a stitch at the end of the row, and then a repeat of 7 stitches. But when you do that with the 98 stitches that is called for in the pattern, you wind up with a section that doesn't have any of the knit stitch. So, needless to say, this is my hat. And all I can do is laugh. I was probably 10 or 11 rows into this, and then I realized that this is not right. This is not me. This is something else. what I'm gonna do is use my handy dandy graph that represents the brim that I wanted, and I'm gonna start this over today. But I'm also gonna wind this into a cake because I hate balls like this because it just keeps rolling away and coming undone, and it's driving me crazy. So the moral of the story is, even though you may not feel good, sometimes it's not you, it's the pattern. And you're actually in the right and it's in the wrong. But yeah. Oh, and yes, I'm in pajamas out here in my lounge wear, my comfy pajama clothes, because I'm in healing mode right now. And yeah, I have been napping on my floor. This is not fun, friends. This is not fun.
My heart rages around like an ocean in my head because
I just got done taking a power nap in the floor. I could have went inside and slept in my little air mattress room, but I didn't feel like it, to be quite honest with you, and it feels so good and cozy out here. So I just napped in my floor. But this way I'm keeping my family safe. Because I don't want them to get this. This is not fun at all. I did message the designer of the hat book before I laid down, because even though I do have the sea brain, I'm pretty sure, like 99.8% sure that it's not me, it's the pattern, and it is written wrong. What I'm going to do is I'm going to start over again and do it to the charted part that I wrote. And I'm waiting for the designer to get back with me and to figure out if there was an errata, where it is, if there's any more corrections in the book, so I can link all that in my video for you guys in case you get this book and come across those patterns. See vlog. It is now Monday still. It is 6:25 in the evening. I recast this on and I could not handle the wood needles in acrylic yarn. This was not happening. So I took them off and I put them on some Hiya Hiya, because if I'm gonna knit magic loop, it's gonna be on Hiya Hiya, because their cords are perfect, because they're flexible and they don't give me ladders. But I do not knit often with acrylic yarn, and I don't think I've ever made a hat with 100% acrylic yarn unless it was crochet. So I'm not sure about gauge and stuff. Let me assist my finger, hang on. Because I'm having to rewrite this pattern to make it how the picture looks, I cast on 96 stitches, which is what it should have been. However, since I'm using worsted weight, or actually Aran weight yarn, because it's acrylic, I'm going to need to go down, because I think it's going to be a little too big. And I'm a slight perfectionist, so I'm ripping it out and I'm going to start it over. Honestly, I think at this point I'm just delirious and just going crazy sitting out here by myself. I have no business laughing because I hurt so bad. And other news, hang on, laughing hurts so bad I can't breathe afterwards. My husband and my children have been real troopers, bringing me food and medicine. And a little pot pie, a chicken pot pie earlier for dinner. I at least have to be out here one more day because I'm still running a fever. So hopefully tomorrow is my last day in isolation. Oops. I dropped the phone because I'm tired. I'm so tired. I'm so tired of isolation. Yeah. So we're on day 4 of a fever. So much fun. So much fun. It is not wanting to break. The chest congestion is starting to break up now a little bit, which is a lot nicer. But now I'm just coughing. But I did work on my ribbing some yesterday, so this is what I got done. This is exactly what that picture shows, and the directions they have in that book for the ribbing is not the right directions. So today, and that's what stinks about this, is I'm out here and I have this time now, uninterrupted time, because people can't be around me. I could use that time to craft. But with this, you don't have the energy to even do that. Or the brain power. Oh my goodness. The brain fog is ridiculous. So I've just been like sitting in my chair or laying in the floor in and out of sleep. Like just numb, I guess. It's kind of weird. So I hope whoever, if you get this, I'm sorry. I'll keep you in my thoughts and my prayers. Because it is definitely not pleasant. And I wish I could have had the energy and fortitude to actually work on things, but I have not at all. But I am knitting. I mean, I feel a lot better today than I have been. Still holding strong with my fever on day 4 though. So it is now, it's still Tuesday. It feels like it's like Friday. It's only 4:38 in the evening and I'm still in isolation. I did manage to finish the brim of my hat. I may have to, there might be jogs where I have to cut the footage from coughing in this. Trust me, you want me to cut that out. But my brim's looking good. It's looking good. So I'm knitting the brim is on a US 5 high sharp. My favorite interchangeable needles besides the signature needle arts. But they were expensive and I only bought a couple of them and then they went out of business. So it's kind of sad. I did not get to get my US 1 DPN off from them. And a stiletto. I'm still trying to find a set of that someone is wanting to let go, that is gently loved and in good shape. I'll probably never find it, but that's fine. What was I saying? Oh, my non-working needle is a US 3 because it's smaller and it makes my stitches go around faster. I think I'm close to 2 inches. Yeah, so I called it a day. So now we're moving on to the middle part of the hat. And we're going to be bringing in this fun color that I think is, I love this yarn. And I need to go back and look. Someone told me the colorway of that when I posted that thrift store haul. I'll link that video down below. So we're going to be adding that in. But when I cast this on, because I had to redo the pattern because it was not right, the repeat is only 8 stitches, and therefore I only cast on 96 stitches opposed to 98 stitches. So I have to increase 2 stitches. So I'm going to do one here, and I'm going to do one over here. And that's going to be my 2 increased stitches. Sorry, that was a bad cough. 2. Also, while I'm increasing, I have to add in that new yarn. So I'm going to go up a needle size at least when I start knitting the body of the hat, but to do this, add in the new color and the increases, I'm going to keep it in the size 5 just to make it kind of flow a little bit better, I think. And so the first round of this is just to knit. So I'm just going to do a pickup. I could do let's see how well my brain works right now. Different kind of increases are used in different projects for different reasons. So a knit front and back makes a small hole, and it also gives you the appearance of a knit stitch and then a purl stitch right next to it. So keep that in mind if you ever use that. Make one right and make one left are going to be either a right leaning or a left leaning increase. That's mainly my go-to when it's something like this, just because it kind of hides better and it just kind of pulls the stitches in. This is the bar that's attached to that next stitch. So I'm going to pull it up, stick it on my non-working needle, and then instead of grabbing the pink and pulling it through, I'm going to make one with a new color. Oh, and I just kicked you. I'm so sorry. So sorry. Gonna leave a good bit tail. I think I got like 8 inches from casting on the hat. And we're going to knit all the way to the end, and then on that back needle when we turn, because we're doing magic loop, we are going to make our next increase the same. Now I had stitch markers in here to separate my repeats because, again, the sea brain is a for reals thing, and so I'm going to take those out because I don't need those anymore, but I needed those to keep up with my repeats because, y'all, I'm telling you. I find it interesting how people knit I like to watch other people knit. I do find it interesting to see how people knit. And this is how I knit. I don't really tension my yarn or any of my fingers, and that is because I really tried, but because of the plates and my movement that I have available in my hands, I just cramped too much. So I just kind of use these fingers over here to maneuver the yarn. Now, please ignore my poor fingers. They look horrible from washing my hands so much because of this. It has really agitated my atopic dermatitis. So not only am I dealing with the sea, I'm dealing with a flare-up of atopic dermatitis because things just can't be easy. All right, almost to the end. And I know that this is the middle because I have 12 repeats. And so I have 6 on one needle and 6 on the other when I set this up. I did try to do this on my new DPNs, but they're the 6-inch. They're too short. I couldn't get all the stitches on there very comfortably dealing with what I'm dealing with. So I thought this would be the best way not to lose any stitches. All right, so I did my first increase on this side. So I'm gonna do my first increase over here and I'm gonna do the exact same thing. And so that way I've brought my stitch count up to the 98 stitches. And I have also added on my new ball of yarn. And now it's just kind of smooth sailing in the round. I'm not like the fastest knitter in the world, but I get the job done. And that's all that matters. I'm cutting the brim color off. Like, is that not the most satisfying thing when you get done with a color and you can cut it off and just set that to the side? Now, if I was going to be striping this center section with this multicolor, then I would have just left it and carried it up the side. It would save a lot of yarn and a lot of headaches. You don't have to weave in ends. But I'm just going to go full on center crazy color yarn and hope for the best. So that's all I got in me. I don't want to have to sew in a lot of ends. And then I'll come back later and pick this up and do the crown decreases. And we'll just hope it goes good because I ain't got anything else. My goal is to get done with this hat before Sunday because I thought that'd be a fun challenge more than anything. I don't know if that's going to happen at all. The weird thing about this is that you definitely feel like you're spaced out. That's about the best way I could say it. I just feel like I sit here and time passes and I'm not part of it. Maybe that's just being in isolation. I don't know. And I've only been in isolation 4 days. As you can see, I deeply love my family and I don't like being apart from them. So we have an Xbox. He brought my Xbox out here and I've been playing Fortnite with him over the headset so I could talk to him and stuff. And of course we call and FaceTime. He'll bring me food out and stuff, but it's not the same. I don't like not being next to him. I do not like it at all. And I just feel like time's just moving and I'm not moving with it. I'm so happy and blessed that we've made it this many years without getting this. You know, so many families have not been so fortunate and have lost loved ones, and my heart breaks for them. So, but I am on the mend. I'm just trying to... I don't think the middle section of this pattern's right either. Please hold. I feel like this whole week's vlog is gonna be like the epitome of my life. So, I'm reading the middle half and, you know, we've already got past the first part. I realize that the wording on the directions, words mean a lot of things. And as I've worked through this fever, my ability to read words and comprehend words has gotten a lot better. And so I see now where it says row 1, row 2. Because I'm like doing this hat in the round and it's supposed to be stockinette for a few rounds. And then it goes to seed stitches. Why is there a knit only 1 row when it's obviously like 4 or 5 rows? And it's because it's rows and not rounds. This book is written in flat knitting and then seamed up the back. So the chart for the first bottom of the rib may be right, because I was not thinking working in rows. I was thinking working in rounds. And so that, let me go back and look at that. Apparently the whole book is worked in flattening and then seamed. And that's why that whole rib section was not working out for me, because I was doing it in the round. So the only place that you see where you have to seam is when you get down to the crown decreases, and then it tells you in the last one, use the seam down the back of the hat and weave in your ends. I mean, I guess that's where reading the whole pattern comes into play first. That's why you should always do it. I didn't. So moving on, we're just going to adapt this to working in the round, and we'll be okay. It's fine. So it is now officially Wednesday, and give an update on my condition, I guess you could say. I feel a lot better. Like, I don't feel 100% at all, but I feel like I could take breaths, which is huge. I've not been able to do that without gasping, and it makes me cough, but I can do it. I still have a low-grade fever. I didn't take any Tylenol yesterday, and my fever went back up to about 101. So I'm still not completely over it. This morning I checked without I took NyQuil last night because I wanted to sleep. And with taking NyQuil last night, my fever's still at like 99.7. So still have a fever. I think that's like the worst thing about this, is because as long as you still have a fever, you're supposed to be still really contagious. Well, my fever has lasted since Saturday, and it's now Wednesday. I just feel very outside of myself and distant. I do feel more capable today, like of being able to knit and focusing on things. I feel like my focus is a little bit better. So I'm pretty excited about that. I would like to get a lot done on this hat. But other than that, I mean, I don't really have the body aches anymore. And I think I'm just used to being cold. So my hat is coming along quite nicely. I really am loving how these colors are working up. So the pink is the I Love This Yarn Solid, and then this is the other I Love This Yarn. So this is that cake. And the way it's kind of working, it's kind of got some blue on one side, and it's got more orange on the other side. But it's kind of working out that the purple and white is staying at the bottom. And then the repeat, okay, I'm getting out of breath. The repeat where the orange, white, and blue is where I'm doing the seed stitch. And then I'm about to go more into that purple, pink area for this section. So I'm hoping it continues to stripe like that. That'd be super cool. It's going to be a good fit. It's a good density. I like the fabric that I have with it on a 7. So, and it looks a lot like Fair Isle. So that's snazzy, because I don't have the brain power to do that. So I like when the yarn does that for me. But I'm going to go sit and drink some more of my coffee and knit on this. And then hopefully I'll have a finished hat by Saturday, by the time that I get ready to share this video with you. Before I forget, while we're outside, it's like my favorite place. We need to have some serious talk about that book. I feel like, I'm gonna move you. I feel like I have a lot more clarity today. And I feel like that book should have had some more saying, more pronounced, that, hey, this whole book, these hats are knit flat. Because I read all of the intro about this book. There's nothing about knitting a hat flat until you get to the crown decreases. And granted, I should have caught on where it said rows. But again, I had to see. Like, it was not catching on with my brain. So that is kind of on me. I get that. Because it didn't say in the round. So, I mean, assumption led me to believe it was in the round. And we know what assuming does. So, I think it was pretty funny. I do wish they said more about it knitting flat. And so I went through and I read some of the reviews last night, because I can't do anything else in my cupboard. I have my phone. A lot of people complained about that, actually, that they didn't even see that part and they returned the book because of the things. But it's just, they're all written flat. So now that I know that going forward, I can just adjust for that. So I wasn't even going to post this whole fiasco of my quarantine adventures because it's the pattern. No, it's me. Now I realize it is me because it was just written flat and I did not realize it. But I think the video and the journey is real life knitter stuff that we go through and crocheter stuff that we go through. And so I think y'all could probably relate to it. So I'm still gonna post it, even though I was so wrong. And I have no problems admitting when I'm wrong. I really don't. I think it's funny, actually, because I was so confused. But it's crazy how you get that brain fog with this, and you just can't think and reason. It's insane. And so now I'm gonna start on my second of this seed stitch section. Hello. So it's 1-something on Wednesday. My youngest son made me a cheese quesadilla earlier and brought me some grapes. And this is where I am on the hat. I'm starting the third section of seed stitch, and I really, really love how it's turning out. But I've got to lay down and take a nap because I'm exhausted. And I will catch you on the flip side. Good morning. So it is now Thursday, and guess who does not have a fever? This girl is fever free, and I feel so much better. I still have a lot of chest congestion, but I don't have a fever. So that means this is my last day in quarantine. Let's talk the knit and let's get caught up. So last night I finished all the body of the hat, and I'm about to do my crown decreases. And I was going to start on them last night, but I left my book in here, so I did not want to come back out here and get it because it was pretty late when I went in. And I was in my I actually slept in my real bed last night with my husband. I made sure that I built a pillow wall between us, and I made sure I faced the opposite way the whole time. But I was like, dude, I've got to get some sleep. I gotta sleep in my own bed. And he was like, no, I get it. So I slept so good, and I think that also made the world of a difference. But look how pretty this is working up. I think this is going to be a great donation hat for K&K Crochet. I really love how I was able to keep the purple in between the poofiness of the seat stitch. And I think it makes it look like it's a Fair Isle hat, but it is just that yarn doing its thing with the pattern. How cool is that? And because of the length of the repeats of the color, I was able to keep them in the seed stitch areas and then use the purple and white for the stockinette stitch areas. And so now I'm going to get the rest of that pink yarn, which is this, and I'm going to do the decreases and have that one ready to go. So today is Friday. It's 7:30, 40 in the morning, something like that. And I have been fever-free for at least 24 hours. I am back in the house, which is amazing. I miss my family. And I finished my hat. I did sew in all my ends, but I never snip my ends till I wash it and then let all the stitches relax, and so that way they can pull against themselves. And then I'll go in and snip them right next to the fabric and they won't come out. But oh, I did not sew that one in because I left it tied. That's how I know if I sewed them in. So I'll sew that one in, and then I will go in and wash it and then snip them. But I think it turned out really cute. Thank you so much for spending a week in quarantine with me. It's been interesting to say the least. I cannot believe I did not catch that the pattern, the whole book was written for flat knitting. All I can do is laugh about that. I don't even know. For the rest of the week, I'm going to be just relaxing, still recovering. I still have a lot of stuff in my chest I'm trying to breathe through. And I got some house chores to catch up on. I got some family time to catch up on. I'm going to be working on my poncho and then kind of planning out that blanket, and I hope to start my blanket next week. So I hope you join me for that, for Vlogust week 4. And I hope you enjoyed this adventure. Thank you so much for watching. Thank you so much for watching my videos when I was sick. I know several people did. Another Yarn was one of them. She was amazing. She went through it and commented and watched so many of my videos, and I truly, truly appreciate it, Shannon. Like, I really do. It is a struggle to stay up to date with the algorithm, especially since I can't really post that often, and I just feel like my poor little channel is just slowly growing, which I'm happy about, don't get me wrong, but I would love to see it grow more. And so I really am thankful for you taking the time out of your day to helping me achieve those goals. So hope you all have a great week, and I'll see you in the next one.